Hey everyone, good evening. I'm Wyatt Ong, and today I'm really happy to be welcoming you guys for another episode of Rappler Live Jam, perfect for the month of February. Please join me online in welcoming the cast of Wakas. Hey guys.
Hi.
From the left, we've got Lawi Guico, Moira Lozada, Abby Sulit, musical director EJ Yatko, and of course, Cara Barredo, Pepe Herrera, and Justine Peña. Hey guys! Yay! Okay, if I seem overly excited, it's because, inappropriately excited, actually, it's because it was a personal project to bring Sawakas here to Live Jam last year. So the process started late last year. I want to say thank you to Cha for having everybody come here and welcome, guys. I'm so happy that you guys are all here and we have a really cool show tonight. We just all heard them at the office rehearsing a while back, and the reception was incredible. I can't wait for you guys to hear the three numbers they'll be performing tonight. But first, I want to talk about the story. And Sawakas, as you know, is a musical based entirely on, the songs are entirely made from sugar-free songs. And sugar-free is a, hi Ebe. Ebe was, Ebe along with John Noidanao and Bulatumas actually part of our very first live jam. So this is super special for us. We feel like it's a milestone. But Sugar Free is a group that has had like this. It's very much a fan group in that the following is devoted, and it has lasted through time. And I think that that's something that finds its way to the story, I guess, and how fans have received it since the first run in 2013. So this is the second run. How does it feel to be back for the returning cast members?
Oh, well, I think I speak on behalf of all the existing old cast members and, of course, all the people in the production who, well, we literally waited 4 years for this to happen. And for it to actually come into fruition still feels like, I know it sounds cheesy, but a dream come true for us because we really have been waiting for it. Like year after year, we would ask each other, is this the year where we're finally going to be able to restage it? And now that we finally have, it's so incredible that there actually were people also waiting for it to happen again. And so we're so glad at how everyone received our rerun.
I think Abby is also returning.
Yes.
Yes.
It's great to be back. It's great to actually do the show again. We miss it. Again, Justy, I had said everything. 4 years, we waited so long for a rerun. Now, here it is.
Here it is. Cara, you have a really interesting story about how you were all set to go in 2013. What happened? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I was supposed to be part of the original run as Gabby.
Oh, I see.
Unfortunately, schedules kind of didn't work, so I couldn't do it. But now I'm here as Lexi, which is very
Lexi, right.
interesting. Yeah.
So, how did that all turn out? Like, how did you go like from Gabby now to Lexi, and how?
It's actually their decision, the artistic board board team. That's their decision. I guess before they looked at me as Gabby, and after 4 years, voila, I am more Lexi.
So before I go into introducing the characters, which I really want to spend some time on that, I also want to talk about the ensemble and how amazing it is.
They're quite amazing.
Yes. So well, just a little more, and everybody can listen. But just tell me about maybe EJ, you can tell me a little bit more about forming the ensemble and what special role they play. It's in a way it feels a bit like a Greek chorus to me.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Our director and I talked about this. Our kind of inspiration for it is the Greek chorus in Hercules.
Right. Oh,
You know
okay.
that?
The muses.
The
Yeah.
muses. It's
Okay.
the kind of the muses of the show. They're
Yeah.
very involved in the scenes. You'll see. Sometimes they'll appear as a doctor. Sometimes they'll appear as a bartender. They're the civilians around, but they're lurking around the stage. Yeah.
Judging.
And then they fill in the lines, and it's kind of in flux. So there are multiple characters, I guess.
Yeah, they're all the characters.
They're all the characters. So Sawakas is about Topper, Gabby, and Lexi, and it is quite a complex love story. I'd like to ask a cast to tell me about the characters that they play.
Hashtag Team Lexi. That's my hashtag. Well, Lexi is the show is told backwards. But if I may, I'll start from the beginning. She's studying medicine. Her dream goal is actually to be a neurosurgeon, and she has been with Topper for, by the start of the show, 4 years, 5 years, and we've lived in together. We've pretty much built a life together. We started with the same goals, and it's for
dot.
you to find out. Yeah, so we're in a relationship, Topper and Lexi, for 4 years. Hashtag Team Lexi.
Pepe?
Well, kung sasakyan natin yung mga hashtag, yeah, Topper for me is hashtag Team Freedom.
Team Freedom. Hey, that's new.
Hashtag
Okay.
team confused.
Well, you can. That's another way of putting it. Kasi Topper is an artist, and he loves freedom. He loves love in general, and that's what he was able to find from Lexi, and
Also, Gabby.
the next one talking.
Okay, well, sige na nga, hashtag Team Gabby.
It doesn't exist.
No, Gabby is actually a magazine editor who meets Topper at a time of his life where he's not entirely sure what he's supposed to do. And so they share the similarity in the fact that they're both in the art industry where they're not sure about how to actually pursue it, how to go about the complexities of it, and of course the controversies within that industry. And so when they share that bond together, it sort of shakes Topper into this idea that maybe he's not where he wants to be, not just in his relationship with Lexi, but also in life, well, at his present time there. And then as the story progresses, you see how all three characters sort of develop their own little paths, and then you see how relationships might come together and might fall apart, that sort of thing. So it's really more of a story about three individual people going through life and sort of just crossing each other's paths.
So I think that was really interesting what you mentioned about how career comes into play also, because I feel like the musical relates, a lot of people can relate to the musical because it isn't just about love, it's also about career and some really hard choices that people have to make, and I guess everybody has had to make at one point in their lives. Did you guys, sobrang hugot ba? Did you pull, was there some place that you all pulled from? Channel the pain?
Oh God, what's that?
What's that? What's Hugot?
Nope. Who's good?
But I mean, we just want to remind everybody that it was in 2013 before it was a thing.
Yes.
Right. Or I don't know.
I think it was a thing back
Or it
then.
was a
It
already.
was probably a
Right,
thing,
right,
but there's just
right.
no
But there's no
label.
term.
But it's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, before
Emo,
it
I
became this hashtag movement and all
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Pain, channeling pain. Yeah.
Careful.
I
Wait,
touched
you're
upon a
live,
nerve.
right?
No, we are live.
People are watching.
That is totally fine. We can move into the first song. And when EJ and I were talking about how we wanted to structure tonight, I was telling him that it would be cool to kind of give a little taste of the musical, not just in structure, but even in the way we ordered the numbers tonight. So EJ, can you tell us a little bit before we launch into the number? Tell us a little bit about the first song, Cuarto.
Well, it's the opening number. It's the opening number of the show. And actually in the show, we're gonna do the song version now, but in the show there's a lot of dialogue in between. So it's actually the interaction of Lexi and Topper after the breakup.
After the breakup.
Yes.
Okay. Without further ado, this is the first number from the cast of Wakas, Cuarto.
ako ng aking kwarto na punong-puno ng galit at damit. Mga bagay na hindi ko na kailangan, nakaraang hindi na pwedeng pagpalipan.
Paalam na sa'yo,
Paalam na sa'yo, paalam na sa'yo. Mga liham ng nilihim kong pag-ibig at litrato ng kahapong maligalig. Dahan-dahan kong inipon, ngunit ngayon kailangan nang itapon. Di ko na kayang mabuhay sa kahapon, kaya mula ngayon, mula may jacket mong nabubulok sa sulok na inaalikabok na sa lungkot. May panyong ilang ulit na niluhaan, isang patak sa bawat beses na tayo'y nasaktan. Di ko na kayang mabuhay sa kahapon, kaya mula ngayon, alaala ng lumuluhang kahapon, dahan-dahan ko na rin kinakahon. Natagpuan ko na ang tunay kong ligaya. Lumabas ako ng kwarto't naroon siya. Magpapaalam na sa'yo ang aking kwarto. 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 Magpapaalam na sa'yo, magpapaalam na sa'yo.
Goosebumps.
Have fun.
If you're just joining us now, we're with the cast of Wakas for a February episode of Rappler Live Jam. Thank you so much to the over 1,000 people who are watching us live right now.
Hello, everyone.
And thanks for tuning in. If you're just joining us now, we're heading into our second number. But before that, I wanted to talk about the way that the musical is structured. So we touched upon that a little bit earlier, and we were talking about how it actually is not in a linear order. It begins with the breakup, which we just heard. Tell me how it was kind of planning the music around it. Did you guys do the music first, the order of the songs, or was it a story kind of thing, or was it, all in one?
So I'll answer this for the writers.
Right.
They chose the
I wish they could be here, but
songs. The story was the priority.
Right.
It wasn't like Hari na Sablay is popular, so we have to put that in. It's more like what song will fit the context. Because in musical theater, songs are dialogues or
Right.
monologues. It's either one or the other. So they chose which songs fit the scene. So the story was the priority.
So actually, in preparation for this, I talked to a bunch of people who'd seen it, and what they were saying was that was very notable was that it didn't feel like fan service, even though the fans are amazing for Sugar Free. So I think that's one of the things that really kind of stands out. I was really interested to see how the songs would be adapted into a musical theater environment, because obviously they would have to be changed or tweaked a little bit. Can you tell me about that? And was that a hard thing to do? And for you guys, the performers, you guys must know the songs.
Yeah.
Did it feel a little strange at first, especially for the newer cast members, to kind of adapt to this song that you've kind of known for a while?
Well, no, not really. The songs, they're kind of really organic when we started listening to it. Although we knew the background of the song, we sang along to it probably when we were younger. But how EJ wrote the music was, like I said, it was very organic. So it flowed naturally for us. So yeah.
So I remember we had a meeting in a bar, and then the director and the producer, and they said, "You want to do this Sugar Free musical?" And I was like, "I only know one song."
What was the song?
Don't kill me, Ebe. I only knew one song that it's not my generation. It was Hari na
Careful.
There was a reaction.
I guess it is my generation, but growing
Ebe,
up,
oh.
I love you, Ebe. Growing up, I only listened to musicals,
Right.
and I was a classical pianist, so that's I've never listened to rock. And then, so they told me to if I wanted to make it, and then I listened to it in the car, the whole soundtrack, and I cried. It's like I have to do this. This is amazing. And then, so you're talking about how I incorporated the music,
Right.
Because I said that background because don't have a rock bone in my body before before this, so I had to learn. Basically, when I found out the story was gonna be told backwards, the whole inspiration for this score, which you can't really hear because this is a piano and it's a full band with
Right.
strings. But if you watch the show, you'll understand. It's the image of a clock, and then it's ticking backwards and faster until all the gears and springs pop out, like the relationship, like that. So that's how I scored it.
Oh, well, like Lawi, I'm also like, oh, that's so sad. Okay, well, this is the perfect show to watch this Valentine's season, no matter your relationship status. But if a bit fragile, bring a friend.
And tissue.
And
A
tissue.
friend to hold on
Tissue.
to.
A friend to hold on
Yeah.
to. Yes. I'd like to ask you guys about some of the standout lines for you guys, or maybe Kara. I see
Wow.
something's happening
You
over
did a
here.
fantastic
I need to know. I must know.
No, well, actually, almost all the lines are quite quotable.
Right.
Because the story is very relatable. Gosh. Oh, yeah,
This is
EJ
my
has
favorite.
one.
This is really my favorite.
Okay.
Alam mo kung ano yung masakit? Yung minamahal mo yung isang tao pero hindi na siya yung mahal mo.
With feelings.
Of course, you have to say hugot lines with feelings.
I
Of
have
course.
one.
Go, Pepe.
the idea of being in between makes perfect sense.
Or, how can I stand by my principles when someone else is pushing theirs?
Manood na po kayo. Diyos. Manood na po kayo.
Okay, now I have to hear everyone's. No
We
pressure.
watch the whole show.
Masyadong
all the time.
madami kasi.
Miss Primavera.
I think the cringe feeling of all the days you chose to surprise me. It's like you knew I needed you, but he wasn't there for her.
Oh my gosh, if you actually watch the context of that.
Oh no, okay.
Sorry.
Go, Abby.
They're all really nice. It's hard. It's so hard to think of just one. My line, John. No, kidding. There's a lot.
Burnout.
There's a lot.
Actually, all the lines are quotable, so
Yeah.
that's why it's hard for some of us.
Yeah, even just parang lines when spoken and as opposed to song. If you're reading the lyrics, they're regular words, but there's something behind it, and I'd love to have Eve back so we can ask him, and everyone else. Okay, so now we are moving into the second song, and I want to go even further. I want to take everybody on a journey on this 3-song night sample of Wakas, and I wanted to go into the second number, and I want EJ Sana to tell me about where we are in the arc at this point.
Okay, so this is the next song's Mariposa. I'm sure everyone knows that.
Was that the one song that you knew? Di ba
No,
sabi
it
mo?
was Hari ng Sapyan.
Okay.
But after I listened to this one, it became my favorite. Yeah. So this is the song. This is the song of her character, Gabby, who finds that she's falling in love with Topper. Gabby, you wanna elaborate on this?
Yes, okay. This is, at this point in the story, makikita natin si Gabby. And then, ito na yung part na nagsama na sila ni Topper, but then, end of all communication na. Because at this point, alam na nila na may isa na siyang relationship. Na he's actually in a relationship and things can't go any further. But then you see Gabby trying to move on already, but you still see that at that part, even if she's moving on with her life, and he's moving on with his, there's still that longing that happens when you meet someone that just cannot be.
I think longing is a very key emotion that comes out in a lot of Sugar Free did it so well, especially with a song like, for example, like Burnout, and now you'll hear it in the upcoming song Mariposa. So I don't wanna preempt it anymore. I'm sure in the comments everyone is saying less talking, more singing. So I agree. So without further ado, Mariposa.
Alam mo ba, kanina pa akong magdamag nang nakatingin sa'yo, di mo lang alam. Sa gitna ng kadilimang di mapakali, ako'y nabighani. Di mo lang alam, hinaasam ang panahong makapiling ka sa una't huling pagkakataon. Dahil dito sa Mariposa ay mahirap ang nag-iisa. Dahil dito sa Mariposa nagsisisi, natatapos ang gabing alam naman natin meron ng daling nagsisisi, gigising sa katotohanan di ka naman talaga akin, di mo lang alam inaasam ang panahong makapiling ka sa una't huling pagkakataon. Dahil dito sa mariposa, ayoko nang mag-isa, ayoko na. Dahil dito sa mariposa, ako lang yata nag-iisa. Ayoko na mag-isa, ayoko na mag-isa, ayoko na mag-isa, ayoko na.
Such a happy show.
Very happy.
So
So happy. Joke lang. Anyway, if you guys are just joining us, we're now headed into our third song. So don't worry. After the live show ends, you'll be able to watch the. You can access the video on Rappler Entertainment and cry all over again along with the rest of us. I just wanted to go into some social media questions because, yeah, people have been sending them in. Irene Grace Andaya, thank you for such an awesome performance. Watched you on the first showing weekend, can't help but cry.
thank you, Irene.
Yes.
Thank you.
Here's a
Thank you for crying.
here's a really good question. What's the most challenging scene for the main cast? Ooh, it feels like it would be an emotionally kind of heavy show. Gabby's like, yeah, you think?
I'm laughing and crying.
Justine pala. Okay, so what would be the most? I'm curious to know because would it be a breakup? But then it's in the beginning.
What? You wanna-
In the beginning, I thought burnout would be the hardest
Right.
because that's the breakup scene.
Right.
But as we were doing the runs and the shows, burnout is very organic for me. Organic! Kasi may hugot.
Careful.
Careful. But as we were doing the runs and we were doing the shows, the hardest scene for me is actually the last scene, prom. Because if you see the show, prom is kind of the first time we move in together, so everything's very happy. But because I know the story in the back of my head and in the back of your heads when you watch, you'll be
Right.
like, oh my God, why? Like that. I will not ruin this show for you.
We don't
but
wanna
watch
spoil
out
it.
for the last scene and you will feel what we all feel every time that it's that scene. Especially that last part
Right.
before
It's like you're
blackout.
smiling and crying at the same
Yeah.
time, and you can't help it.
And it's a very strange.
That's why it's beautifully
feeling.
written. Because
Right.
you'll really feel.
Shout out to our viewers. How many of you actually had the song Prom play at your prom? It's like a promception.
Oh my gosh.
I performed prom during my prom.
Ay.
Our
Ayun.
So
Yes.
Wait, together with a band. So, ganun ka
Sugar free.
memorable yung song for me.
Luigine F. Yanoria has a good question. This musical attracts a new audience who have never seen, maybe some of them have never seen a musical before. For first-timers, maybe they can't help but sing along. Do you guys think this is rude or cute?
Depends what volume they do it in.
Okay.
Good answer.
Right?
You know, if you're singing under your breath, fine. Because honestly naman, when we watch a show, tapos meron tayong alam na kanta, magpapakanta din naman tayo. But of course, I think when that happens, when you're actually watching, it's actually hard to sing along if you're really watching.
Yeah.
Because you're so engrossed in the story. So, if you're singing along in the happy part, sige, sing along, pero quietly. Kasi some people are actually really watching. So, I mean, you know, if we hear that the audience is like singing, we're like, oh, yay! But like, oh my gosh, not so loud.
Yeah, true. Ako naman, para sa akin yung tapping. So, with all due respect to those who will still watch sa Wakas, please don't tap your foot. Or you can tap it, you can tap your toes inside your shoes.
Yes.
But because we had this experience already when my castmate, si Kaisa, she can hear it. She can, thankfully ako hindi, pero she can hear the...
Oh no.
And it's not in beats.
Exactly. So that's very difficult for the performer. So with all due
Okay.
respect again, just, you know,
These are very helpful,
Yeah.
reminders.
Theater etiquette. Yeah.
But again, thank you so much for supporting musical theater. Again, this is not just about musical theater. This is the merging of musical theater and OPM. So we do encourage
Yes.
lots of people to support the art.
Exactly. Please.
So what I want to ask, the fans who are watching to do is, if you want a third run, please comment and tag Sa Wakas the Musical on Facebook.
Hashtag Sawakas 2017.
Oh, guys. I don't want to say more, like, I live in fear. I might, I should, baka dapat hindi ako nagsalita. But, but if you guys want a third run, because this is the second run, the first was in 2013, and I hear it's sold out completely. Okay, so if everybody wants a third run, please comment in the video, tag Sa Wakas the Musical, and I'm sure, the creators and the writers are watching, and I hope that they hear. Please let
Yes,
this
please.
be a third run. Great. So now we are headed into the third and final song, and of this happy evening. Maybe not happy, cathartic, diba? I think that's a theme for a lot of people, especially in February, and they're seeing all these triggers around. So tell me about the third song and how that fits, I guess. So this is special because Ebe performed this song at his live jam, Bawat Daan. And it's so beautiful and really sweet. And like, I feel masochistic about asking about the sad situation that we're going to find, the characters in the play. But I also feel like this is a must-watch for a lot of people, just because of how well the writers seem to know the audience that they're writing for, and seem to know the characters within the show. So, and how the music seems to intuitively understand what's really going on. So, yun. So, I'd like to know more about Bawat Daan as it fits into Sa Wakas. Guys? Anyone?
Well, Bawat Daan. Bawat Daan was the song that Ebe wrote for the show, so it's really special.
Oh.
Really special for all of us. It's our Act 1 ender. It closes the Act 1. And in theater, you call that the showstopper, because it's a really crucial scene. Like in Wicked, it's the
Defying Gravity,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. So in this scene, I don't want to spoil it completely. Like,
No
I don't want to take
spoilers.
away from the people who are watching. But let's just say, in the lines of Topper, maligaw man o mawala, umikot man sa kawalan, sa bawat kailan, sino't saan, ikaw lamang ang kasagutan. Okay. So the question is, who's he singing that to? That's the good question
Hashtag
there.
Team
Like,
Lexi.
Hashtag Team Cap.
I think that particular
Team Ed
song, what I found really striking and kind of, I feel, is unique to, at the time when it was released, Eve's vocal quality and how the band kind of attacked it also was that, how he lingers on a note. It says a lot, even if it's not like multiple notes, multiple words. It says a lot, the way you kind of linger on a certain note. And do we see a lot of that in the rest of the musical? How many songs are we talking in the show?
25? I think around 25 songs, if you include the reprises, the short
Right,
reprises.
right. So I guess that there are a lot of like truly like super emotional moments. This is one of them. I want to thank everybody, but hold on before we end, because after this we're gonna go. I wanted to kind of plug the show a little bit more. So it is at the Power Mac Center Spotlight Theater at Circuit Makati. It runs until Feb 12. So the show is sold out. So again, if you would like a third run, please comment and tag the show's Facebook in our comment section. And I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
By the way,
Thank you.
Thank you for making us sold out.
Yeah. And by the way, sa Wakas is part of the Fringe Festival.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yes.
For those who don't know, the Fringe Festival is pretty much an arts festival of multi-mediums, meaning different forms of art. And it's actually an international festival that's now going to be in the Philippines.
there's a lot to see.
Yes,
at
a lot
Fringe.
to see. It starts on Feb 8 until Feb 26, and there's a launch, the Fringe launch on Feb 8 at 8 p.m. in Pineapple Lab.
Yes, that's in Poblacion. So please do go. Again, you'll be supporting different forms of art and, of course, the Filipino art industry.
Yay. And also, well, before we go, Pepe is in a movie that is currently in theaters. So,
Yes.
Yeah, sakaling hindi
sakaling
makarating.
hindi makarating.
Similarly, it's also a marami ring hugot, kumbaga. It's also a hugot film.
I read Ogs Cruz's review about it. What I think he pointed out was yung parang parang there's a slow moving sensibility to it that it quotes the emotion and and you kind of carry it along with you throughout the.
That's a good way of putting it.
Well.
But yeah.
Thanks, Ogs.
In relation to
I
that,
edited his story, so
in relation to that, it's basically
Yeah.
love for self and everything around you.
So please
Problem.
catch it. It's in theaters now.
Nationwide, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Salamat.
And congratulations to the cast on a sold out
Thank
second run of
you.
Sawakas.
Thank
Please, Sawakas creators, we're here. Third run is our request. My request and fans' request. And thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight for a February episode of Rappler Live Jam. I can't wait to share the rest of our February lineup. But for now, I'd like to say thank you again and introduce the last song, Bawat Daan. Thank you, guys.
Thank you too.
Thank you, guys.
Sa pagkumpas ng iyong kamay, ang aking landas kinagabay, nag-iisang tiyak sa 1,000 duda, silong sa iyak at pagluluksa.
Kung puso ko ay imamapa, ikaw ang dulo, gitna at simula. Nahanapin kita, kay tagal kong lagi. Nahanapin kita, kay
Nahanap kita.
Maligaw man at mawala, umikot man sa kawalan, sa bawat kailan, sino't saan, ikaw lamang ang kasagutan. Bawat kanan at kaliwa, kung di magmahal
Thank you so much for joining us. Support local arts.